Why do you want to plan? Because you want to know what the outcome is going to be, right? We got a plan, we do these things, we get this outcome. Does that work in a baseball game? Does it work on a bowling team? Or do they have principles? And they have practices that they do. And I don't mean practice in games, I mean they have practices that the company performs over and over and over again, right? If one of the practices of your company or your organization or your team is that everybody shares their work and everybody develops a level of trust and everybody critiques everyone in a positive way, those practices build better teamwork. Those practices build trust. And if you establish a level of trust like this in an organization, then you can get people to raise questions. I'm not sure that's a good idea. Or that was a great idea last week, but it looks like based on the things we just learned today, that's not a bad idea. And if you don't have that, you can't ask people to make any commitments. And if they can't make any commitments, you can't hold them accountable. And if you can't hold them accountable, how do you get anything done? All because they didn't trust each other. Now you get a baseball team. Do you think they understand what each person is good at, and more importantly, what they're not good at? Do you think the coach, the executive, doesn't know everything about every one of them? Do they have a dog? Do they have a sister? Is their mom sick? Are they distracted? Do they have a job offer? Do they have this or that? Do you think he doesn't know those things? How many of you guys know those things about the people that are equally critical to your success or the success of your company? So you want them to put together a specific plan, but you don't have standards or practices. So if the team doesn't practice the same thing over and over and over again, how do you expect them to execute anything? And those standards and practices come from your values. And if you set your executive team down and you ask them to write out what are the top 3 values of the company, and then you take your newest hire and you ask them what are the top 3 values of the company, and you take your office manager and you ask him or her what are the top 3 values of the company, if they don't all match, you got a problem on your hands. And if they don't know the same thing, what are your standards and practices?